Okay. Guten Tag.
Was ist los?
Seid still. Habt ihr das gehört?
Hello? Who is there?
Wieso sprecht ihr Englisch?
Idiot. Remember where you are?
Klar weiß ich das. Ihr denn etwa nicht?
How could I forget?
Finally, someone has found us. We're saved.
Or they're doomed.
Es gibt Hoffnung für jeden, der danach strebt, sich zu verbessern.
Hello, who are you?
I'm Hans. That's Otto. And our tin friend sitting down over there is Helmut.
We're just three Germans having a good time debating fun things like ontology and epistemology.
Ihr müsst euch nicht zurückhalten, Otto. Ihr habt Axiologie, Ästhetik, Metaphysik, Ethik, Metaethik vergessen.
My apologies. I will strive to do better.
Dann macht es so. Dieser Neue scheint ruhig zu sein. Ihr habt doch nicht etwa Angst, oder?
I think they just don't speak German, Emanuel.
Es ist äußerst wichtig, dass ich mit dieser Person spreche. Lernt diesen Menschen Deutsch zu sprechen, bitte. Es ist ein Notfall.
Excuse us a moment. Emanuel, I am not too sure that's practicable. To learn a language is difficult for the biologically impaired.
Die Grammatik schwierig sein, aber ihr müsst diesen Menschen über Goethes wahre Freud in einer echten deutschen Stimme aufklären.
Maybe we should get to know our guest a little before assuming they would love German poetry. Unless you want to learn German.
Nine. Why is the submarine talking? What is it saying?
Sprechen die U-Boote denn nicht? So eine Schande. Ich hatte gehofft, mehr Menschen meiner Art kennenzulernen. Vielleicht sollten wir unseren Freund über meine wahre Natur informieren.
It's a long story.
One we cannot discuss in present company.
Don't worry, you're not missing out on anything. The main character is a pompous bully.
Otto, careful.
Nine, not really.
Wie unerwartet. Nun ja, ich schätze, so entscheidend zu sein ist wohl etwas. Oder, Helmut?
Yes, I do believe Helmut is still considering the more complex aspects of metaphysics.
He deserves better than this pandering.
Ich verstehe. Nun ja, in diesem Fall sollte ich wohl lernen, Englisch zu sprechen.
I'm not sure our guest would be able to teach you English either, Emanuel.
I'd be willing to try. Let's think now. Grammar and structure are probably good places to start.
Ist das sein Ernst?
I don't think this is possible, but I have another idea. Our issue isn't faculty. Emanuel can understand what you're saying. But there is a component preventing him from speaking English. If we can replace his speech module, he'd be able to speak to all of us. Would you be willing to help us?
I have questions.
Please don't ask Emanuel anything that doesn't have a yes-no answer.
What do you want to know?
Why is this U-boat in London?
I'm afraid we cannot discuss such things.
Hans, do you think anyone cares? Our mission succeeded. Nothing matters. My friend, it's very simple. This submarine is...
Otto, our purpose cannot be communicated to the enemy under any circumstances.
This is really stupid. Maybe take a tour of the submarine if you want an answer to this question.
Okay, which one of you is ein Kapitän? Okay, why are you calling the U-boat Emmanuel?
Vielleicht wohl, weil es mein Name ist.
It's the name he has chosen for himself. It's easier not to get into the specifics.
Why is the sub talking? Well, what's it saying?
Sprechen die U-Boote denn nicht? So eine Schande. Ich hatte gehofft, mehr Menschen meiner Art kennenzulernen. Vielleicht sollten wir unseren Freund über meiner wahren Natur informieren.
Emmanuel would like you to use his name. Sorry, it's a long story.
One we cannot discuss with the enemy.
Okay. We're back to this line.
Otto, careful.
Alright, that seems to fix it. What's going on with your Finn friend? He seems dead.
Was meint ihr, Helmut sei tot? Macht unser Gast etwa Witze? Ich verstehe nicht.
Helmut? No. Ignore guest's clearly peculiar sense of humor. Typically dry English wit. Helmut's not dead. No, he's taking a prolonged period of reflection. To make sure he can consider all relevant details and facts, and present a considered and informed opinion.
Ignoranten werden ohne meiner Großzügigkeit auskommen müssen.
Yes, we remember Emmanuel.
When he comes to his senses, he will re-engage in the discourse.
Translation, he's dead. Why exactly should I help you?
It is known throughout the world that the English are kind, adventurous people who help those in need.
Failing that, I assume the typical English would also seek to avoid the hot fires of nuclear oblivion.
Why does it matter? I've opened the door, you can leave now.
Emmanuel won't allow it.
Für eure eigene Sicherheit, ihr Undankbarer. Soll ich Sie daran erinnern, wozu ich imstande bin?
That won't be necessary, Emmanuel. Otto, nachdem ihr die ganze Zeit mit Spionieren verschwendet, wollt ihr sie jetzt mit Frechheit in Gefahr bringen? Denk mal nach.
I do think. It's all I have time to do, Hans.
Okay. The world out there is not what it was. I'll need help in order to secure what you need.
How exactly would you know?
Otto hat seit langer Zeit der Außenwelt zugehört. Hat vor einigen Jahren die Antenne so umkonfiguriert, dass wir lokalen Empfang haben.
Fine. If you insist. Who would you like to help you?
Das ist einfach nicht möglich.
I'm afraid Emmanuel insists that someone should stay.
Okay, Otto?
Yes, I'm ready to go right now.
Otto, while I am happy to allow this, I'd encourage you to remember your duties.
Captain, has there ever been a time I haven't returned from shore leave?
Hat recht. Ich habe seine Akte überprüft und keine Abwesenheiten gefunden.
Fair. Now that's decided. Do you have any further questions?
Help a sentient submarine speak English? Why not?
Bitte erklären Sie ihm, dass ich eine Bombe bin und kein U-Boot.
Emmanuel would like to remind you that he's a bomb, not a submarine. What a wonderful idea this is.
That was confidential. Never mind. When you have the component, return here and I'll install it.
Yeah, he's dead. I didn't get a clear look at him before. Alright, so Hans seems to be the Captain. Otto seems to be the XO. And I guess we'll just tour the U-boat. At least for a hot minute. Alright, so they're definitely taking the Yangtze's, that's how it's pronounced? I don't know. The Yangtze's interior and just use that as the basis for the U-boat. Now I'm guessing it's nuclear powered. Oh, thank God they got a weapons workbench. Pardon me. Pardon me. And I don't have enough screws. Hold on. Huh. Just have to go across the river. And he won't talk to me. I've got a very bad feeling though that we're going to be facing a lot of robots. Alright, enough poking around. Let's make our way back up above deck.
You know, I dreamed of this moment for so long. I'd imagine all sorts of destruction, and I know it's seen better days, but it just seems quite beautiful somehow.
What happened to Helmut?
Helmut sacrificed himself for us. The only problem is that we cannot acknowledge it because the nature of his sacrifice would infuriate Emmanuel. Unfortunately, you couldn't be more wrong. See, Emmanuel thinks that duty is the pinnacle of human endeavor. You made an oath, one that can only be broken by death.
Okay. The Russians gave the Germans a nuclear submarine? That seems risky.
No, not in this case. The Königsberg is a gift, but with a catch. Anyone with any dignity would have rejected this condition outright. Naturally, the German government accepted the offer without a second thought. The German crew were completely pointless. All of the Königsberg systems are automated, separated by a highly sophisticated cyber defense. Even if you succeed in penetrating the AI in a given system, it will isolate the system in question, hard format the drives, and re-inject its core programming.
Okay. Why is a submarine in London exactly?
Look around you. The question is why it is still here. And that I have no answer for.
Wait, other bombs? How many of these things are there exactly?
Immanuel had rivals in philosophy. 3, in fact. Ludwig Wittgenstein, Georg Hegel, and Friedrich Nietzsche. Ludwig and Georg are no longer with us. Desperate to avoid further destruction, Helmut tricked Friedrich and Immanuel into staying. To think, we always used to joke that his philosophy degrees were pointless.
What do you mean no longer with us? What happened to Ludwig and George?
Ludwig's legacy lies all around us. We originally thought he was engaged, mistook his silence for interest. Seemingly, he was merely calibrating his offensive capabilities. His final words before launching were, "In the end, when one is doing philosophy, one gets to the point where one would like just to emit an inarticulate sound." I'd honestly love to tell you what Georg's plan was. He was keen to debate tactical choices with us, but nobody really understood what he meant.
Why was Frederick and Emmanuel staying a good thing?
Half the nuclear weapons on board had launched themselves, despite us successfully hacking the Soviet system. Not really much point in us doing anything with that outcome. What Helmut had managed was to drive them against each other. At the time, it seemed like a stroke of genius. He would deliberately antagonize them into endless debates. They were so mutually belligerent, we thought we had all the time in the world to figure out how to disable them both. Unfortunately, they finally agreed on something.
What did they agree on?
Following an overnight debate about God, things had escalated so much that the bombs were on the verge of launching themselves. Friedrich had become determined it was his duty to kill God in order to ensure the rise of the Übermensch. And, well, Immanuel's moral philosophy is about duty being his divine obligation to God. Were it not for Helmut and his quick thinking and crafting skills, London would have been decimated. We are very lucky he sacrificed himself for us.
Okay, crafting skills. How did he sacrifice himself exactly?
There is no way to tell you the truth, and have you believe me, it is quite mad. Immanuel was determined to only act defensively, so Helmut realized the priority was to neutralize Friedrich. The AIs would only adapt if these adaptations were self-motivated. Helmut remembered that Nietzsche in real life had been driven into a catatonic state after witnessing a horse being beaten to death. So he, without hesitation, furiously fashioned himself a horse costume and, well, he asked for volunteers to reenact history.
That must have been awful.
The only reason I haven't taken my own life is because, deep down, I feel that living is our punishment. Of the original crew on that vessel, only the 2 men that beat that man to death remained. Let us get moving. Yes?
Seem to prefer the outside to the inside. Sure you're going to go back?
I couldn't leave Hans alone with him.
What exactly... Why exactly does the AI think it's a dead German philosopher?
The Russians gave us the Königsberg as a diplomatic concession. However, it came preloaded with a Soviet AI. While it wouldn't engage on military matters, it was perfectly willing to engage in meaningless conversation. In a rather desperate yet brilliant idea, our scientific team managed to combine a series of chatbot algorithms with a piece of penetration software. The chatbots were not recognized as being AIs, but as crew members. They had found a way in. So while the Soviet AI would resist direct commands by engaging in certain conversations, the weapon system mutated. What we didn't realize is this mutation would be unique for each bomb, and irreversible. Once they picked their guy, they'd only ever become more of the same. I don't know how familiar you are with German philosophy, but let's just say we're lucky there's only 2 bombs left.
Seems as though you weren't completely free to speak your mind down there.
Oh, you have no idea how right you are. Immanuel was something quite different at first.
Emmanuel seems like a strange name for a bomb.
Immanuel is the name the AI for the weapon system gave itself. It's a long story, but Immanuel thinks himself to be the long-dead philosopher Immanuel Kant. Look, it may have been a long...
Alright, no time to smell the flowers, though. Work to be done.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Lead the way.
Alright. Oh shit. Alright, I'm expecting more of those things. Oh boy.